Hello. I want to comment about race realism and the IQ score debate. One of the things that black anti-racists have mentioned is that these studies are created to hold black people down. It's a form of white supremacy. As a black person, and let me just be very frank, I am not gloating over these statistics, or I do not want to believe that black people have a genetically inferior IQ, or have thinking patterns that make them less likely to be inventors of civilization, less likely to be inventors of sophisticated inventions, less likely to succeed in certain types of planning, or envisioning certain concepts. That is not what I want. But in saying that, I cannot sit here and simply ignore the possibility that it may be true. Okay? That does not mean that blacks cannot live and function or be successful in a modern civilized society. It doesn't, because IQ is not the only measurement of intellectual capacity, but there may be mental differences that may be genetic. That has to be held as a possibility. If we're going to hold the possibility or establish it more as fact that blacks have the capacity, have superior advantages, not edges, superior advantages in physical ability in some areas, then you can't discount the possibility that there may be mental advantages that other races have over blacks. That being said, this notion that fucking Felipe Rushton is a white supremacist is idiotic. First of all, he continues to mention that he believes that Asians have the genetic advantage in IQ, in what the IQ measures, because the IQ does not measure total intellectual capacity. But for what the IQ does measure, he believes that the Asians have a genetically superior IQ. That cannot be, he cannot be that, even if he measured IQ or thought IQ was a measurement of human worth, he could not be a white supremacist. That's just idiotic. Okay? The question anti-racists must ask themselves is, why does he feel that Asians have a superior IQ than whites? Why? Why does he? He's white, right? He's supposed to think he's superior to all non-whites, right? But yet, there are non-whites he does not feel superior to, if we assume that he thinks that IQ measures something essential to human worth. Okay, if you think IQ is an objective form of measuring humanity, which we don't really know if he does, but if he does, whites are not on top of his measurement, or on top in terms of intellectual capacity measured by the IQ. So he cannot be a white supremacist. It's idiotic and asinine and emotional to call him a white supremacist. The question you must ask yourself is, why does this guy put the Asian man on top? Mongoloid and Northeast Asian, why is he on top? Why does he feel that way? Can we say that he's not objective if he views Asians in this way, and he knows that whites, he could easily make the argument that it's statistically insignificant that, you know, for the last 500 years, white Caucasoid nations have dominated in technology, dominated in politics, and have been the most influential culture for the last 500 years. He could make the argument that those differences in brain size are statistically insignificant, but he does not. He said that the Asians have lower propensity for crime compared to whites, lower propensity for sexual promiscuity compared to whites. So how can he be a white supremacist? even if he like I said, even if he measures those things to be indicative of a major gauge of human worth, how can he be a white supremacist? Do we realize how idiotic we sound when we call him that? He's not a white supremacist. Even if you assume that the IQ, you're thinking in his head and you think that he believes that the IQ measures the most evolved man. That within that IQ score, everything that is essential to humanity, to measuring humanity, he believes. You don't know that. So why does he say that the Northeast Asian is on top in terms of IQ performance and has a genetic advantage? That is what we have to ask ourselves. Because he tried to prove two things. Yes, he tried to say that blacks, sub-Saharan blacks, have the lowest intellectual capacity within the context of the IQ, and that is genetic. But he also said that the Northeast Asians have the highest genetic capacity. Highest genetic capacity for not just IQ, sexual discipline, and that is genetic. Why does he believe that? Can we sit here and just say Phil Rushton is as an asshole because he believes, he looks at society, looks at how things are, and he has a belief system that supports that? I don't think we can. And to be honest with you, I don't really think, yes, I don't think that his arguments are full, I don't think his arguments are 100% foolproof and airtight. But however, many of the arguments that anti-racists continue to tell me about really really are emotional and just continue to call him a racist and a white supremacist, which he is not. A racist, well, then you have to get inside his head and think that he believes that measuring human life is, you measure human worth by measuring the IQ, which you do not know if he believes that or not. You assume that, but you do not know. What statement has he said in his studies that imply that? I think I said enough for right now. Have a nice day.